I know this isn't idyllic, but it's probably a lot nicer than a lot of y'all had to work with, and a lot nicer than what I was working with when I first started. And we've had these tools, and we really couldn't get to them or use them in the shed or what will be the future workshop. But what I'm doing is clearing out a lot of the scrap, like that piece of plywood right there that was just in the way in the shed. I'm going to use it for like a drawer bottom or tray. And got the table saw set up. That push stick, I've become a real Kreg fan. That blue thing is the Kreg push stick, and you can't see it, but on the other side of it is their featherboard. And it's really helped with working with that, because that's the one tool that makes me the most nervous to use, and that's my husband's table saw. Bought it for him a few years back, and it's really now finally getting used. And I've got a bucket down there, try to collect the sawdust for something else later, or maybe I'll just compost it for the garden. I bought a couple of more bike racks. Yeah, see the kayak back there, because that's what we did with the two I've already bought, and that makes a big difference, because that's normally they just lower it down into the car or the top of the car or into the back of the truck. And I bought two more bike lifts for the third kayak, which is my son-in-law's kayak. Since we're storing it for him anyway, I might as well store it properly. And I hope to get this area cleaned up before I finish this project, but I'm not letting it stop me. My miter saw, I have really enjoyed that. It has just made it so much easier to just come out here and do it. There's the cabinets that we pulled out. They're still in good shape, and I hope to put them into the shed for storage and just use, because I don't want to just throw away something that's good and no one else wants it. And if someone else comes along and wants it, they can have it, take it down. But right now it's become a really good extra workspace. That Ziploc bag right there, oops, is my safety equipment. I got my eyeglasses, my dust mask, and head ear protection is in there. And this is where I'm using it. So I was carrying it inside, taking it off, putting it back on, coming out, and I just figured this is just going to be easier. That bag behind it is carrying the extras for my Kreg pocket hole jig, the shelf peg hole jig, and fortunately we have 4 drills. That's a Milwaukee hole shooter, look them up, and it's for the pocket hole. I've got that one set up with that drill bit, and the clamp over there. It's worth getting the clamp. I cannot imagine having to screw or pump one of those clamps that we already have each time. That's just set, and I just squeeze it and then release it and go on to the next spot, and that works so much better. And those pocket holes have saved me so much headache. It is not having to figure out things beforehand and drilling from the other side to, make a T with the wood, and then having to put that wood up. Doing the pocket holes, I can put that one strip up and then put pocket holes on the other side, and that has saved me a lot of having to undo, because a lot of the things I measured for, even though I measured right, it didn't quite work out. So I've had to undo things, and the pocket hole is a lot easier. Now, for the things I can't do on the table saw or with a jigsaw, because I can't do a straight line, I got this Kreg, it's called a rip cut, and it's now set. The reason I've got these 2x4s on the ground is I'm going to put a plywood sheet, 4x8, and I'm going to cut 15 3/4 inches off of the length. That will leave me room to make 4 side panels of my base cabinets, which I need for the next part. And I'll show how I'm doing that, because I'm building everything in place. So this is set up to do that, and I got to haul the thing out. And this area has been cleaned and gutted and cleaned, and it's not perfect, but I'm glad that I've got a place. You know, there's my front door, so I'm just coming out here. I'm shaded. Afternoon this gets pretty bright, so and I try to quit work. I try not to use any sort of tool that's going to end up hurting me or cutting off a finger or anything after 4 o'clock, because I start getting really tired and a little wobbly and not thinking as well. So I try to get everything done in the morning, especially the big cuts, while I'm still at my best. And oh, check out the wasp nest. Oops. They're just sitting there. I think they're done for the season. But this has just made everything so much easier. I've got the table saw set up to where if I take, which I did yesterday, those things leaning up against that black cabinet, it was a 2x4 that I stripped into 3/4 inch strips. So I got 4 of them. Well, the 4th one was a little small, but that's okay. I'll use that for something else. But if I'd known this, I'd have saved so much more money at the beginning of the project and just bought the larger pieces and ripped them on the table saw. And then I used the miter saw over there to cut them to the lengths that I need. And I even cut, you can't tell, it looks like a 2x4 from here, but I cut the 2x4 on the down the middle to those are going to be my toe kicks underneath the cabinets. So they're actually 3.5 inches. So they're going to be, and I, had to do 2 passes, top and bottom, to get it cut all the way through. But I can do that, and I did that for my 6-inch shelves because I only had 3 adjustable shelves and I needed 6 of them, and I didn't need them to be 3/4 inches thick. Because they're not going to be supports. They're just going to hold up some glasses, and the glasses aren't that heavy. At a little under 2 feet, 2 feet long, they didn't need to be that heavy, thick. So I ripped them that way. So they're less than, because the board was 3/4 inch thick, and I cut those somewhat in half, and then sanded the inside to kind of even it out. But it's been a great learning process. And I'm going to do the cabinets differently than what I've done on one side, but they'll look the same when I'm done. Anyway, thought I'd just share this, my work setup. Thanks for watching.